Hello everyone and welcome to a brand new episode of the Women of Arabia. Women of Arabia is a platform where we showcase the best women entrepreneurs and of course other business women and women from all different fields of life who have carved a niche for themselves and created a dream of their own into reality. And today in conversation with us is the CEO of Black Swan Business Setup Services, Rupa Jha. Thank you so much, Rupa, for being part of Women of Arabia.
Pleasure. Thank you, Diji.
And when we say Women of Arabia, we always look for women of substance. And of course, your life history and the journey that you've been through, it's truly one of those women of substances that I can definitely vouch for. As we were discussing, Rupa is someone who started working at the age of
14.
14. Okay, so she's from a very small part of India, and you lost your dad when you were...
Yes, was 14.
And you had two other sisters, and you were the oldest of the family.
Yes.
And you decided to go ahead and work and support your family.
Exactly.
Was that a very conscious decision that you made at that age?
Actually, I was. My father was very spiritual, and he was engaged with some spiritual institution. Okay. So I already started staying away from them because he wanted me to study as well as go to that spiritual institution and do the spiritual works, learn meditation. Okay. And so I was living a different kind of life, kind of a hostel. Okay. But then even when my dad died, I didn't realize much that what's the problem my family is going to face, because I was back in the hostel. Yes. One day, I don't know what happened, I just bunked school and I went home, and my mom was there, and I asked her to make tea for me, as in Indian houses.
Yes.
And when I got to know that she don't have tea, she don't have milk at home. And my family has never seen that phase. Like, my father was a chemical engineer. We were a middle class family, but we had everything we wanted. He kept us pretty well. So knowing that we don't have sugar and milk at house, that was very... I thought, what am I doing? What kind of spiritual life I'm going to have? My sisters, they took admission in a Hindi medium school rather than an English medium school. So went to an economical school. So all these things I didn't like. It came like shock to me. I was not prepared for this. So that day itself, I decided. I came back. I left the hostel. I came back home. And I thought, I'll have to do something. But I'm just floating. What will I do? Where will I get a job? Who will give a job to?
Who will give you a job? Yeah.
So I thought, no, from somewhere I'll have to start. A few days I kept thinking, I could not sleep. But then I thought, okay, I'll start with giving tuitions to children.
Yes.
But who will come to a...
And all this time, were you still studying? Did you ever think that you want to quit your studies?
Till that time, not. Because it was just class 9. So if I will leave, I will not have any... So So till now I was pursuing medical. I wanted to become a doctor. Okay. So that was there in my mind. But along with that, I had to do this as well. Okay. My school, they knew my situation. I was a good student, so they gave me scholarship. But my sisters, their study was there and everything. So,
and what was the age difference between you and your sisters?
When I was 14, one of my sisters, she was 12, one was 6. So
too small. Yeah,
they were small. So I thought, okay, I'll give tuitions, but who will send their children to a 14-year-old?
Exactly.
Because parents are very conscious. So I started with the milkman, the grocery man, and the cobbler. I told them that where your kids are studying. They said they go to a government school. I said, anybody is giving them tuitions, because they are the ones who cannot give tuitions.
True.
So they need a tutor most, because their parents are not educated. So they were very happy that, yes, when you want us to send your children, our children, I said, send them from today itself. So like this I started. I got 10 students. I told them that I will not charge any fee. I'll just teach them. Okay. Because at least, see, from that time I think I was a little entrepreneurial.
Yes.
So I thought that people will see students coming and going from my house. So then they will start sending.
Because to make that decision at such a small age, A, when you were 14, and second, because the whole idea to start or to work was stemmed from the fact that your family did not have enough for your day-to-day, obviously, needs. But in spite of that, like you said, you had the entrepreneurial streak in you, thinking that you did not even charge those students because you were trying to market yourself, let's say that, try to assemble as much experience for yourself so that
I wanted to create awareness in the market.
Yes,
we have a
14-year-old. Okay.
And then, but these people, what they did is, because once I start teaching their children, even they felt they were very modest enough, so they never used to charge us any money for, they used to give milk, somebody's giving vegetables, somebody's giving something. Yes, barter system started.
Okay.
And seeing them, many other people started coming and inquiring my mom, like, your daughter is giving tuitions, I will also send my kids.
Okay.
And slowly, within a year, I almost had 70 students coming to my place.
Wow. Okay.
And
how did you manage it? Your studies, teaching kids?
I used to give tuitions. I started morning 6 o'clock, and till evening 9:30, I used to give tuitions. Definitely my studies were a bit affected, yeah. But still I managed to get a first division.
Wow.
So that was my goal, but yes, I could not complete, like, you know.
Yeah, like you were aspired for initially.
Exactly.
The life had taken you on a different
But the best part is my family needs were being taken care of.
Yes.
Things were at least stable. Then suddenly something happened, which was again another shock. After 2-3 years, when I was doing, I think my 11th, I was in 11th or 12th, I'm getting my students, my tuitions, getting monthly enough to
income,
income to
run the house.
Yeah. Suddenly a mortgage paper came from bank, and they said that it's been a year and the bank installments have not been paid. I think there was some house loan which father took for the house, which
and you were not aware of.
See, those days parents, they never used to interact that much with
the
children. Like they used to keep them away from any. And mom was also a housewife. She was. This is shocking, but we were not aware of this.
Wow.
And they said since 1 year it's not been paid, so we'll do. And they were trying to
evict you from the house.
What to do? Yes, they were saying that we will do it.
Okay.
Yeah, so what we did is, like, we don't know anything about.
And didn't you have any other support system, like from your relatives?
No, not at all. That was another amazing thing. What we did is we started taking help of our neighbors. Okay. We asked them to write a letter to SBI, the State Bank of India, that if they can, waive off the loan. I went to the bank. Unfortunately, the house was on my mom's name. Okay. And the banker said, sorry, your dad has died, not your mother, so we can't help you. Because it's on the house is in your mother's name. Okay. And still we tried to request that we are all minor kids, but obviously this could not help. So even they have their limitations. So that was the day when I decided that, this is the last time my family is facing something like this. And next, I'm gonna do something where my family will never
have to go
will face that dad is not there. They will not be scared of losing anything more, like losing that, and then now we were scared that we will lose our house.
Yes.
So I came back, and that was the day when I dropped the plan of doing medical and studying further. I said, I'm just gonna complete my higher secondary and I'm gonna work. Now I started looking for a job as well. Those days call centers were in, and they're paying well.
Yes.
So I gave few interviews and I got through, and that is how when I went to Kolkata with a job, and they were paying enough 10,000-15,000 that time. It was.
So when you say you went to Kolkata, you're not basically, you were from Bengal, but from a different
part. From a small town, from a very small
yes.
city called Asansol. People have heard about it. And it's 3 to 4 hours from. So it's a very small town.
From Kolkata.
Yeah, so it's a very small town. So there you don't have much employment scopes. That's why tuition was the only. So I went to Kolkata alone, thinking that with just a bag and 500 rupees, that's something I'll have to do. I got a PG, a very small PG, maybe 200 square foot space, 2-3 beds over there. That is what I could manage that time. And I started working in the call centers, and that was my first international exposure. Okay. Because the kind of training we got, like I used to work in Australian shifts, UK shifts, US shifts, selling different products to the international customers. Okay. So I think that was my first base. Though it was just a job, I don't know, people, they don't look high up to it, but then I think that was my first training which I got out of university.
No, that's amazing how you say that, because most of the times people, especially the call center jobs, as unfortunate it is, that people don't look at it as an experience in the way you just mentioned. People just look at it, oh, it's something for me to get some money or some easy money. You don't have to work too much. You don't, I mean, workload is not much like we
Trust
have
me,
right
the kind
now.
of selling skills we got to learn there, I
Yes.
have not got that kind of training
See,
anywhere else.
I haven't heard many people say
for
that.
example, people say without seeing a person,
Yeah.
we used to understand what he needs, what he likes to talk about.
Yes.
For example, we were given tips. Okay, you talk about horoscope, you talk about football, you talk about the weather. So how to judge who wants to speak about what?
Yes.
So on the phone we used to get that, and I have never been to Australia, I've never been to UK, I've never been to US, but we are selling them, telephone connections, gas connections, business directories, pizzas. We're taking pizza orders. We're doing everything. So that is.
It's amazing how life can throw many opportunities at you, and it's up to you to decide what to take from where and how to learn and grow in life, right?
Very true. And the best part was I was taking it very seriously.
Yes.
Like I was in schools, I used to take study very seriously. So even when I was job, I was being the same. So I was not like others, like being casual, like just call in the jobs or just come for some. Yeah. So for me, it was very serious. Like if there is any induction happening, so people are like, okay, it is a daily job, but I used to be like as if my classes are going on.
Yeah, like your life depended on it.
Exactly.
Amazing how you can learn.
And along with call centers, I also got another job. It was I used to host shows. And there was one serial, Lifestyle Zindagi Ka. So I did some, contractual shows with them, like going to hotels and restaurants, and they're talking about them. So small part-time things I used to do to earn some extra income, because my sisters, they were going to better schools and they were upgrading.
Yes, how nice.
So
all right, and so then you slowly moved into educational field.
Exactly. Just before
did the whole experience of doing tuitions and being in that imparting knowledge, was that why you decided to go ahead and?
I'll tell you exactly how I went to education field. Like after call centers, now 2 years I've dedicatedly worked in call centers, had enough experience. Situation at home also was stable. So I thought, okay, I'll do something else. I saw a newspaper ad of SpiceJet Airlines. I thought, okay, I'll go for an interview. Yes, airlines.
Okay, even that in Hockey team.
Those days, like, airline job was very glamorous, and
of course,
girls were like, so I thought I'll also try.
That's why, now I get it. You do have that look. Okay, go on.
So I went for the interview. The moment I opened the auditorium door, there were 2,000 to 2,500 girls giving with girls and boys, who came for the interview. I was like, I'm not gonna make it, because I was not groomed at all. I was just a normal call center person. I just came in normal formals, and others were with a bun, with the stockings, with a. So I thought I'm not gonna make it, but somehow I said I'll not go back. At least let me give the interview. Let me see what
determination.
Yes, I thought even if I'll fail, it's okay, but I'll get an experience. What these people, they have given 1 year, 2 year taken training to come to this interview. At least I'll take the. So we were 25. Were called together in one room for the interview. So we were 25 people sitting. There were 2 HRs, and they started with introductory round. The moment people started speaking up, I thought, that moment I thought I got confident I will be selected, because they were groomed, but they were not confident, they were not loud, they messed up their lines. So I thought, no, here I'm going to make it.
This is where your 2 years of experience came into play.
Exactly. So I spoke whatever topic I was given, and somehow there were 6 rounds, and I got selected. So I came to Delhi.
Now they great tip. Sorry to interrupt, but this is a great tip for actually everyone who keeps taking, or everyone who puts themselves down by saying, "I don't have the experience for it. I don't. I didn't have the education for it."
Yes.
Sometimes in life, you really don't need the education. You really don't need the experience. If you're confident and if you believe in your abilities, then there you go.
The biggest asset is courage. The moment you show courage, the half work is done.
Half the work is done. You're right. You're right about that. And so where did you go?
So they gave me joining in Delhi. So I had to shift to Delhi. I started working.
Small town girl going places.
Yes. I started working in reservations. But I don't know why, after some time I realized that this work is too monotonous. Because I have given tuitions, I have worked as a sales in call center. So I have worked a lot with people's psychology. Like every day I'm meeting new people, understanding new people. But now suddenly some kind of mechanical job doing reservations, I was not finding it enough satisfying.
Motivating also,
Yes,
I guess.
yes. So I thought, no, I'll quit.
And how long were you there in that in the airline industry?
2 to 3 months.
Okay, that's
because in 3
you
months I realized,
yes,
that I cannot, because once you are a little intellectual, you cannot.
Yes, true.
And I think a lot of people, they cannot take decision. They go by the money. Like, I'm getting a handsome money. Why should I leave this job?
Yeah.
And they compromise with their inner soul.
True.
But I think I could not compromise with my inner soul's voice, because that time leaving that job was a big challenge for me, because I was from a call center background. Getting a job in
any other sector
was difficult. I was not a graduate as well.
True.
So it was really very scary for me. I thought a lot, like, I'm in a good company, Spice Share is a brand, I am having a good time, everything was so good. But leaving it,
I was not feeding your soul.
Exactly. But then I could not, every day I cannot kill myself and do
it's
something.
It's interesting you said that, because you obviously your things at home were also not extremely good. They were still depending only on you and your income.
Yes.
And to make that decision when you know that you're the sole earning member of the family, yes. The fact that you wouldn't have, like you said, because of your call center experience, you wouldn't have any other sector that would take you. You don't have a graduate degree.
And
in spite of all that, you decided to make that, take that risk.
Exactly. Because I think we can only do good to others once we, we need to keep a balance. You cannot kill yourself and so I thought to come back, and I came back to Kolkata.
Okay.
And there is when I started giving interviews, and I thought I will not go back to call centers, because now that night shift, day shift, I was thinking of a switching, because I thought if now I will not take any action, after 5-10 years I cannot do anything, because in call center I've seen people at 50, 60 still working in call centers. They get stuck because at the right time they have not taken a move. So I think I was wise enough to
make that shift. Okay.
So I started looking for jobs. There was an interview in an education institute. They used to give training of Java, Tivoli, IT courses, and I sat for the interview and I got recruited as a counselor.
Okay.
So I started with the council. I used to do exhibitions, go to engineering colleges, pitch our courses, recruit students from there.
Okay.
So, and because it was first different kind of job, I was thinking I'm very blessed that I got this.
Yes.
So again, I was taking it too seriously.
Right.
And that's why I got like people, I was quite visible. So people from other institutes, they somehow noticed me, and through word of mouth, I started getting, other offers. So there was an institute called TASMAC, the pioneer of British education.
Okay.
So they give MBA from University of Wales, and that time British education was quite new in India. So I got recruited there as business development executive, and that's what I got very good mentors over there. So I grew well. I worked there for 1.5 years. And then Acharya Institute of Management Sciences, AIMS, is among the
top
universities in India. It's based in Bangalore, Pune. They recruited me as admissions officer.
Okay.
And I was taking care of Northeast area.
Okay.
Kolkata, Orissa.
So you shifted base to Bangalore by then?
No, I was in I used to go and report in Bangalore sometimes, but my base was Kolkata. They had a Kolkata office.
Okay.
So this entire East India, Northeast India, Nepal, Dubai, Bhutan, these are all areas we used to take care.
Okay.
So because there are a lot of international students, they come. What is the value of Indian education? I got to know while working in Acharya. Yes, people look up to Indian education.
Quite a lot, yes.
Yes, and there were 66 courses, and our target used to be like 9,000 students a year or something like that. And it was, now the best part was, I was an undergrad, I was not even a graduate. And Acharya had MBA, which was one of the most expensive MBAs that time. 12 lakh a year was the MBA fee. And I used to recruit students for them, for MBA. So I used to take their interview, whether they're eligible to do MBA in Acharya or not.
And you didn't have a graduate degree.
Yes, I was not even a graduate.
Did it ever occur to you to actually go ahead and pursue your studies at any point?
I thought a lot of times. But every time there was a new challenge in front of me, and I believe in giving my 100% in one area. I cannot You know, because for example, there was, you know, a setting of the loan of house. Then was like my sisters, they also wanted to study in good colleges, so I got them to Kolkata, and they also did their studies in Kolkata. Now staying and studying in Kolkata, there's a lot of expenses. Then they wanted to do CA, CS, so I had to invest in that. And then one of my sisters, she had to marry, so I had to give funds for that. So every time you have a, you know, what a person, generally parents at the age of 40, 50, within this span, they do all this. Making a house, marrying off daughters. And I had to do it in this just 10 years. Like 2002, dad died.
And you were still very young.
Yes. So by 2012,
before you hit your 30s, you had to do all that.
Yes,
right?
Exactly.
So whole entire life decisions, life choices that you had to make in that small span before you even hit your 30s.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right.
So I had to finish up.
Okay, so that's why you never thought about your education.
Yeah, a lot of times I thought, I used to inquire and take courses, inquiry from everywhere. I used to think I'll do this, I'll do that, but with this
to go ahead and pursue.
Yeah, because in every job I was giving my 100%. I was always the one to come. You go out of office at the last, come to office first. So
very dedicated.
Yes, because I had to take in. You know, my target was always salary plus incentives because I had to plan everything.
Okay,
so study was difficult.
All right. And just to ask you, in between all this, when did you meet your husband? Well, there's a very interesting story there too, right?
Yes, it was 2007 when I was working in Tasmac.
Okay.
And there he was pursuing his MBA and I was working there.
Okay,
so
all right.
This is where we met.
Yeah, from a different religion, different background. And of course, that must have been a big issue because generally for those people who really don't know about the culture and the cultural differences that India has, it is a big deal, right?
It's a very big
deal. Very big deal, especially since you said your family was so much into spirituality and in that particular, to choose someone from a different culture, from a different religion would have been a...
So I think this is a problem in many countries, not just in India. You know, inter-religion marriages are little difficult at places. So similarly, me being a Hindu Brahmin and he being a Muslim. So initially we were friends, we were good friends, and our families were also meeting each other, liking each other. The moment we said that
there's a relationship,
we want to get married, the whole picture changed.
Okay.
And then we got to know, oh, our parents also think like that. Till then, I was not aware.
Yes, yeah. We would think that our family or our relatives, but many people are very forthright in their opinions elsewhere, but when it actually comes to their own family, they become what they are deep down, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But by that time we were very serious in our relationship because we used to gel, because I was a very professional lady, because now working for so long I became like that, and with Azhar I used to discuss different things. We started a small HR consultancy part-time. We used to
together.
Yes, we recruit students. We used to supply employees to different hotels and airlines. So it was going good. So I thought that he's the right match because he gives me the space I want.
And at the same time also supports you in your career.
Exactly, he's letting me be what I am, what I want to do, how I want to do for my family. So I exactly wanted someone like that. But somehow family started torturing that you have sisters and if you do something like this,
and everything.
The society pressure.
Yeah.
So I thought like now staying in the same city won't work. I cannot leave him. So I will have to, out of sight, out of mind, I have to play something like that. So I broke off and I packed my bags and I went to a remote city to work. This place is called Ranchi. It's the hometown of Dhoni. So
yes, now everyone knows Ranchi.
Exactly. So after all these metro experiences, I
went to a very rural place.
Yeah, a rural place because I was just tired of the metro life. So went there to get a pause. So I went there. I was working there in an engineering college, which they started in a remote village, but it was a very good engineering college called Nilai. And there I was recruited as admissions head. And I was almost assisting the owner of the college. So it was a very good opportunity for me to see how things work in a college from the top level. And it was a very, very roller coaster ride, but a very good experience because now I'm working in a rural place, and it is a Naxalite belt as well.
Yes.
So I've seen the challenges over there for rural India, that what happens, how the students are coming, they are not that groomed, parents are not that groomed,
Okay, yes.
and you are like, their real counseling skills are required. Because see, in these metros, I used to get parents who have done their research, they are educated enough and aware
they know
of
exactly
everything.
what they want for their kids.
Exactly.
And
They're
the kids
precise
also
about
know.
it.
And the kids also
The kids
know,
are also,
right?
exactly.
Very
But
well,
here, it was
No
like,
idea.
they had no idea. So I really faced a lot of challenges and got
And
to
what
see.
about your HR consultancy firm? Was it still going on?
No,
Did you...
I broke
Okay.
off, so
Everything.
I left it,
Yes.
and I was not aware whether Azhar is running it or left it. That story came
Later.
later. So I worked there in that college for 4 years,
Okay.
and contributed a lot in bringing that college from this level to that level.
Okay.
And they do appreciate me till now for that. Interacting with the students, making them understand how things are outside. So started taking them for tours, planned different kind of events, and which can change the thought process, because in
Right.
the infrastructure was okay, courses, faculties, everything is same like the other, but the challenge was the thought process.
Yes, the thought process is
Yes.
a huge challenge.
Exactly, and changing the
And
thought
being a
process of so many
counselor,
people together.
Yes.
It's
Being a counselor, it would be a challenge to change.
Exactly.
Like you said, a mass change of
Yeah,
thought process would be
exactly.
difficult.
It's a mass change.
Yeah.
There have been some incidents where even there was a strike, and literally things used to get violent. So once I had to raise hand on to students.
Wow.
That was first time ever in my life, which was the automatic response. They were like tearing the exam papers and all, and creating a chaos. So I don't know how it came inside me, and I just slapped.
Oh
And
my
those
God.
guys were even taller than me and quite broad, and I was ready now that now things will come to me. Maybe they might do something to me, but I don't know. When you're right, something else. They backed off. Yes, they did a strike. Asked Rupa Jha to strike, to leave, to resign. Yes, the whole night they were outside the campus. But the next day, all the faculties, they came with a black belt in my support, that they were misbehaving with the faculties, and I stood for them. So that is where the student this thing got down. They realized. Okay. Then for some time, between me and the students, the friction was there. But then they understood, and slowly, when I was working for their placements and everything, I was unbiased, whatever they have done. Because I knew what I did was a response, and then they understood, and they literally came, asked sorry, and from there I think I saw a big change happening, because they saw a different face of a woman. Yes. Till now, the women over there, they used to be very scared, like they never used to tell anybody anything, because they used to think what reaction will come, what people will do to them. So some women will have to overcome that fear. Because the biggest thing which women we do, like because we are weak, or because we are in society pressure of image, so we have to create an image of us. So because of that fear, a lot of things we don't do, which
we don't speak up.
To do. We don't
speak up.
But there I thought, like, no matter what people are talking about me, I need to. So it did happen. Initially. Exactly.
Yes,
exactly.
nice.
But it worked. It really worked well. And
in most cases it does work, right?
Exactly.
Have you not seen that?
Very
most
true.
Cases
Very
it does
true.
work. And then when did you finally get married?
So these 4 years after this.
So you had a break for 4 years.
Yes, 4 years. We are not talking. We are not meeting. Then I married off my sister, my younger one, in 2011. So one of my responsibilities was done. I cleared off my loan. Another responsibility was done. So now I was quite free.
But did it hurt you that since you've done so much for your family, you took care of them on all their needs, yet they were not supporting you in terms of one decision that you wanted, that to get married to somebody, which is supposed to be your choice, because you're supposed to be the one who lives with that human being. Did it hurt you?
Yes, it did.
And did it affect in any way?
Me and my mom, our relation, it got little for some span. I knew she's right, but I was also trying to convince her to change the thought process.
But she's not right, because
she's not right, but she has been brought up
that way, right? Yeah.
Yes.
So she was scared, and this is something which I fundamentally have a problem with, especially with a few of my I can only talk from my experience with few of my relatives or people like that. Like you said, when you were going through that hardship, when you were going through all that trouble, you did not have a support system from your relatives or
Nobody.
no one.
Yes.
But when it was time for you to make a decision,
Exactly.
yet your mother thought about the society first, not about you.
Exactly.
Right? This is fundamentally something which even I have. I'm sure many people have a problem with that.
And today I regret that I fell in that trap. I was in for that
Almost
maybe for a
fell
short
in
time.
that, yes.
Exactly. So there and then they started pressurizing me for marriage and all, and I got engaged. Rather, you can say got married as well.
Yeah.
In an arranged manner. But somehow the moment that thing happened, that incident, I almost lost hope that I will ever meet Azhar. That my life is gone now. But then 1 year I struggled with it, and then I thought, no, even if it is like it is, going and then this is coming back. I think it's not late. I should take a reverse gear, and I planned things. I planned my divorce, got divorced, and I found Azhar's number, called him back, and I asked him where he is, if he is married or not. He said no, he is waiting for me. In fact, he was also hurt with this. Yes. He wrapped up the company and he went to Delhi to become an IS. He was doing his IS studies to become an IS. Yes, because everybody is, like to burst out my anger, I went to a remote place to do something, and he also
everyone has their own ways in which they deal with their grief. And
exactly, to teach the society what we are. Yes. So he went to become an IS and do something. So somehow I told him, like, would you, and that time only I got an opportunity from my company in LI to come to Dubai.
Okay.
They were starting an IT company here, something with cloud software for schools and colleges.
Okay.
So they wanted me to come as a pilot team and do the marketing. So I said, okay. I told Azhar that if you're not married, if you're not engaged, would you like to start again? He said, like, what? For some time he said, let me keep the phone now. I can't believe it. Like, after 4 years, I know you got married and everything. I forgot that I can ever meet you even.
Wow.
And then we came back to, I came to Dubai. I got him also. He also came to Dubai. He also got his studies there.
Okay.
And we started working there.
And he got a job here, or was he part of your team?
Yes, he got a job here.
Okay, all right.
Yes. And I was also working there. But in some time, that company, they were not doing well. That time, cloud software was not running well, and they had some issues internally also. So they closed off this office. By the time I got my younger sister also here. She also completed her graduation. So I didn't want to leave her alone there. So I got her in Dubai. So she also got a job. She was staying with me. So because I had these people here, so I could not go back with them. I told them I cannot go back, so I'll have to continue here. I started looking for jobs.
So by then, so you've started with, let's say from tuitions and then into call centers, and of course brief stint with airline industry. We've got that covered, and then of course your major one of education, and then cloud services and IT.
Yes.
Wow. And so you've had experience in almost all the sectors that one could think of. And then, so when you said you got a job, what industry was that?
It was, there's a company called Klein Color. They run a business setup company. It's a business setup company, the same field which I'm running now.
Right.
And 1 year I worked there. I was working there as a secretary to CEO, Mr. Raj, and I got to learn a lot. He was a Gujarati owner. But somehow, like during that time only, my mom had an accident. She had a rib cage fracture, so I went to India. Definitely, I was getting calls from here because we are in job. We cannot stay for as long as we want. Somehow I realized that when we are working, when we are doing a job, our body is not ours. The time is not ours. For this time to this time, you cannot do anything apart from your job. You're not allowed to.
Yes.
If you're doing, you're cheating. And your thoughts are not yours. You will have to think what they want you to think. For example, if there's a client, if you want him to help like this, but if the company has policy like this, you cannot go out of the way.
Go that way.
So when I thought, like, what am I doing with my life? My body is not mine, my time is not mine, and my thoughts are not mine. So what is the value of this life? So I thought, I've been an entrepreneur at the age of 14, having so many children. And I've enjoyed doing that. My family enjoyed because doing that I was with my family as well. All this job while I was away from family, there was time foundation and all. So let's, try to be an entrepreneur and
let's start our journey as let's
yeah.
set up something of our own.
And the best part which gave me this energy is while I was in this company, business setup company, every day I'm meeting clients, and who are my clients who want to start their own
businesses.
So whenever I used to sit with my clients, okay, telling them about product and set up requirement, that's there. But because I'm very talkative, I used to ask them their journey, their experience, their challenge. Like, how do you plan to start? Some were, established companies who are already doing business since years. So I used to get their stories, like what you do, how it is going so good. And some were startups. Most of them were starters, like, okay, no, I was doing job, now I'm starting technical services company, now I'm starting a photography company. Different kind of clients used to come. And talking to these clients for this 1 year, I think I learned a lot. And especially I saw like how the energy is working, that how they are using this energy to come from this side of the table to that side of the table. So I think that was also one thing
motivating factor.
Motivated me. I got a lot of reality check and I got a picture. No, it's not impossible. It's not that difficult
to start something.
Yes.
So that kind of gave you the motivation to start something of their own. Of course, coupled with the fact that your mom had. So everything that happens in life really does happen for a reason, right?
Yes.
It's the good, the bad, whatever in between. So that gave you the motivation to start your own business business of your own. And why did you think about this particular field? Because, like I said before, you've had experience in various sectors. You could have started in education because that was your longest years of experience, something in educational consultancy. But why did you start up a business setup company? What changed in that 1 year that you decided to make it your lifelong, or currently your lifelong mission?
Actually, I think that was by chance, because when I was in the phase of thinking of that I'll start something of my own, people were coming with different ideas, start a tiffin service, let's start events company, let's start, but I'm a good, my intuitions are very strong. So I used to meet different kind of people, sit on different kind of plans, and I used to research also on that. But I was understanding like, okay, a lot of businesses are there where you need a lot of funds to be put it in.
When you say you used to sit with a lot of people, who are these people? I know that you're part of BNI, which is one of the largest businesses.
But that time I was not. Then I used to sit with my friends. Like, for example, my clients are there, or some school friends are here, or
people
their
don't
friends
know when they want to start a business. The reason I'm asking is because many women or people in general want to start something, but they are kind of confused or they're stuck. How do I start? Whom do I go talk to? So would you suggest that they start running off these ideas with friends?
Exactly. I think friends are the best, critics, because what they will do is they will give you they will first tell you all the bad things about
the reality check.
Exactly. They will not give you the
They'll also encourage you and discourage you also at the same time.
They will not give the flowery picture initially. So they will always tell like, this will happen, that will happen. So sitting with them, a lot of my friends, they are somebody are bankers, somebody something. So I get to know because they regularly deal with business owners.
Right.
And they know what's happening. So I was getting a reality check. No, okay, this will, because I know that I had no funds, I had no savings, because all this life I have done different things. So I had to start something where there's least investment. During that time only I got a gentleman, and he said that I want to start a business, can you help me? I started consulting him. Then he said, can you help? Okay, a lot of business options he was looking at. Then he said, okay, business setup, I will start this business only. Why don't you join me?
Wow.
And I thought, okay, what time, it was, I should start this with him. And in my full family, nobody has done business ever. My ancestors, they were pandits, they were priests. My father was the first one to go out and become an engineer. And I thought, because I don't have business in blood, I need to learn what is business. So let's do a partnership with him. He said initially 50-50. I'll be the investing partner, you be the working partner. I said, okay. The day, then I resigned, my visa is cancelled and everything. The day we went for the signature, see, this is how when people, they take women for granted. Then he said that, no, I have another partner also. I can give you only 25%. So 75-25. I still thought, okay, now there's no looking back. My visa is cancelled, everything. Now let's see, in 25 also I'll make enough. And I signed the papers. We started from a small office in Abu Dhabi. Then I asked Azhar also to leave his job and join me.
You asked your husband to leave his job?
Yes, and join me.
He said, what made you make
he
that
was getting
decision?
a very good salary, but then he said, because I knew that Azhar is very good at few things, and I had to make a team, and he was my first choice. Like, I need to have him with me because he's a very good problem solver. And when you are a startup, you have to do things in less cost. Big thing, and he is like a negotiation master. So,
but couldn't you have done it, like for instance, like many people say this, many people say, if you want to start a business, at least especially as couples, if you want to start a business, one of you start, let the other one continue with their full-time job, which would give, this is something you keep hearing every single day from people saying that let a standard solid income be there, let the other person take the risk.
Yes.
What made you think that?
See, I'll just say one thing. If there is a vehicle and if you have one tire of this brand and one tire of this brand, two different kind of tires cannot work well. Okay. I think both has to come in same frame. So for me and Azhar, if you want as a couple together, if you want to grow, see, if two people and have got different kind of areas, then that's different. Like suppose one is a doctor, one is engineer, then that is different. But we both were into sales, and if we can sell anything, like
why not sell it together?
Exactly. So let's sell it together. So we thought, because then we can spend time, because we both love each other. We want to spend time also
together.
Two people spending time in different offices, only meeting for 2 hours. Yes. So this was also, because we both love to be around each other, even if we are fighting, but we have to be around each other. So that's
not many people will admit to that. They would say that
it's very difficult. Yes. It is challenging, and we have gone through those challenges. But let me tell you, it is hard, but anything good is hard. Anything good is difficult. You cannot do a PhD without. So you have to go through hurdles.
Yes.
So you have to overcome that. So I will suggest couples to work together. This is the new cool.
It's also a testing ground, I guess, right? Test your relationship and just probably stretch it to the limit.
Exactly. Wow. Very true.
All right.
So we both started, and then slowly. Initially, we started with asking our friends. We'll do family visa, pet visa, weight visa. We started with this. And then slowly we started getting, initially
when you say visa, it was everything, HR consultancy,
document clearing services.
Okay.
So we used to do visa work, like in we do company formation, visas, everything.
All right.
So it was that the minimum paid job, visas, maid visas, family visas. So we started with that. And then that time we had, now that person has invested only in the license and office, but he's not putting in for marketing and all. Now we had to bring clients. So initially we used to create clients. How we used to create clients? Suppose if any of our friends, we used to create clients, like if we know that we have a friend who is well-to-do and he is doing a job, but he's also planning to, you will always have such friends in circle who will say, I want to start something, I want to leave this bloody job and all. Right. So we used to target them, sit with them for a tea, and we used to counsel them for an hour that you must leave your job. You must start a business. This is like, just imagine, we used to give the same theory. Your body is not yours, your thought is not yours, your time is not yours. And he was like, yeah, seriously. And he was like, I must do something. I said, let's register your company. He said, yes, take the trade name tomorrow.
Oh my goodness, really?
Yeah, and this is how we started. The initial first few clients we have literally created. They were not ready clients. And then slowly we started getting reference, and we grew. We initially did 2. Then we shifted to TCOM in a 1600 square feet office. Now I have 8 staffs. I have a 1600 square feet office. We have approx 70-80 clients within a year, and it was doing well. Now the other partner, till now he was a silent partner.
Okay.
But now suddenly he realized, there's something is happening.
Right.
And it was last Ramadan, not this, the last one. When one fine day, he just came in and he called me in office. He said, Rupa, we cannot work together. I want my business. If you want to work with me, either you work as a staff, as an employee, I can give you a salary, or we can part our ways. I was like shocked. I was like, is it really happening with me? Like, I've taken this business so seriously. I've given my heart and soul. It's so close to me. And we also took some money from the market and put it in the business because eight staffs, their salary, their marketing. I was thinking about him, that why to give him so much of pressure? I should also now invest something. But then,
in spite of all that, in spite of investing,
exactly, and giving working so hard, and he suddenly said, "No, I think I should." I was literally shocked. I was initially.
Do you think this might not have happened if you were not a woman? Do you ever feel so?
I completely feel that.
Really? You do?
Yes. Otherwise, he wouldn't have dared it like this.
Yes. You might not.
He would have fought. You would have whatever he would have done,
and had
other ways. Yes.
You.
Yes. I completely believe so. He thought.
Is it really?
He took it as an easy game.
Yes. But is it something which you have faced in all your years, or especially the past few years, ever since you've set up your own organization? Is it difficult for women? Of course, UAE is growing, the Gulf region in general is growing, and lots of women entrepreneurs in the market.
I will not say in Dubai. Yeah. In Dubai, I just faced with this one person.
Yeah. But in general.
In India, so definitely. But in general, see, in spite of any place.
UAE is better, of course, we agree that. Yeah.
In spite of any place, it is like, definitely it is challenging for women. Now, yes, time is changing, but not everybody is changing. People who are changing with time, they are changing their views. People who are still with their old thoughts, yes, they face the problem. But then it's a loss for them.
True, I agree. Yeah, because eventually they have to roll with the time, right?
Yeah, and I think their friction is making the woman even stronger. Because when they do something like this to a woman, they take it, on their ego, and you'll get to know once you get to know that what I did after that.
Exactly. So what did you do after that?
He said, I was just crying. I was because I'm not that person. I cannot fight with him like that. I just drove back home. I cried. I spoke to a few of my friends, lawyer friends, what to do. They said, see, he has got 75% sharehold. So anyways, you're going to lose. Maybe he'll settle you with something. But on this course, you will invest so much money in the court and all this. So let's not go for that and all, and you will lose, you will not be able to do business. The earnings should also come. He is already getting a handsome salary from somewhere. So I said, okay. I pulled off my name from that company. I thought I'll start again. 2-3 days I cried. I was at home, because it was like losing a baby.
Yes, I know.
It is my business, my first business. I thought, okay, I got up. I started calling my clients that now I don't have a business, but I can do your work. If you are interested to let me know what work I can work as a freelancer. Initially, some clients, they went with that day I got to know what is the value of a company. Yeah. There were clients whom I have got, the agreements I have signed, but they said,
but they would go with an organization.
I cannot come with you because we have a contract. In the contract, it's my signature. The client is mine.
In spite of that, they would rather. Yeah.
Exactly. Then I thought, okay. But and now I'll tell you one more thing where how we judge people wrong. I had few clients who were really rude. So I always used to think I don't want them to come to me again, the way, when is the work done, These were the clients who supported me, exactly. Because when I called them that I don't have a company, I can work as freelancer, if you want, you can. He said, I don't know what has happened to your company. I know
this
you.
To be done.
Yes, I know you, and only you are going to do my work. I'm not going to give my work to anyone. So come right now and take my work. And I went, and they paid all the money to me together. So here I will always suggest people don't judge things with the outer frame. Yeah. Because I think these people, they have a very golden heart. You never know it's wrapped up in what. So don't see the cover, see the diamond inside. True. And they helped me. So I got few clients. And me and Azza, we worked hard. In that 1 month, on the other company, 8 people used to get a number of clients, and we both got that number of clients in 1 month. 2 of us, only 2 of us. Now, still we don't have enough money to get an office, get a license, get everything. We were trying hard. Then I had one client from Mauritius. So I was supposed to collect 12,000 from him. I took the envelope, and in front of old clients, I don't count money. I kept it in my bag and I came back home. When I opened the envelope, there was 100,000 in it. I called my client. I think you have given me the wrong envelope. It's and he said, no, it's the right envelope and it has gone to the right person. I just go get your office, get your license, and
Oh
get
my
started, and take a
God.
better office than them. I said like, what really? And I was definitely.
So now, do you believe in angels?
I do believe, because see, from the moment my dad died till today, I hardly found anyone to come out and help me, even for a reason. And here somebody's coming without any reason to just help me out. And he's just my client who knows me professionally for a few years, but he trusts me so much, and he felt like, and I later on I asked that client, why you, he said, no, I don't know why, I felt like some stage of my life somebody helped me, I couldn't give him back, so I had to give this back to somebody.
Carry forward.
So I felt good. I said, wow, like, thank you God, it was amazing. And I just got my license, got my office done, everything done. I started work, and now it's been 1.5 years. I started Black Swan. We are sitting on 200 clients. I have 8 staffs. Yes,
amazing.
I've got 8 staffs. Have a good team, and I am managing to pay off my debts also. So we are doing.
And 5 months back, you were blessed with a baby.
Yes,
baby boy.
Yes, last year me and Azari got married, and then we had a baby, and we are very happy in our life. And having a business with me, I can give time to my family, to Azar, to my baby, to my parents there in India. So,
and will you ever think, ever now that you've tasted entrepreneurship, you've tasted your own business, working for yourself, striving hard for yourself, will you ever think about if a great cushiony job is being given to you, will you take it ever?
Being hard workers, we live in ground level, so it's ever in my life at any situation, it's not that I will not be able to do a job. If I will have to go to that for any reason, I can. It is difficult for them to go back.
That's amazing to know.
Because here you are responsible for your own deeds. Like there you can pass it on to the company. He's not like that, he's not like that. Here, no matter who is doing the wrong in your team,
you have to own up.
You are the one who is to be blamed. When we are in job, we get a lot of patting for any good job that you do. As a business owner, you will have to pat yourself because there's no one to tell you you're too good. You know, you
have to constantly motivate yourself, you have to motivate your team, and then no matter what hardships you go through, the successes, the failures, you have to power through.
Yes, business will take you through everything. There have been days, there's turmoil in my tummy, like every time, because you have to pay off salaries, you have to pay off rent, you have to pay off this, you have to pay off that. And I think the fear of this pressure of paying off every month, this is one big challenge for which people, they don't take up business.
True. Yeah,
how I will manage all this.
Yes.
But I think.
What do you think would be your advice to people like that?
See, what used to happen is initially I played a very big game, so you know I took a very big risk. So obviously everyone used to be like, how it's going to happen now? So the last week I used to push myself to get that amount and pay off everything. So just imagine I'm giving all that just to pay off others.
Right, I know.
Mine is like, but still I'm happy.
Yes.
So definitely I would suggest people to always keep something for your business, savings, funds. You should have at least some funds to avoid this kind of pressure.
Yeah. Because but that should not be a barrier. Right?
But that should not be a barrier at all. Right. For me, at least, I saw it worked, and it is still working well.
And if you can, what has been your biggest takeaway from all these experiences, starting something of your own?
I think if I summarize all my experiences, there are 2 things which I'll say. Number one, like I said before, that once you show courage, your half work is done. Because I've seen that whenever I've shown courage, even if I start speaking about it, like even when I never knew that I'll be able to earn something for my family at the age of 14, but I started talking to people. I want to do something, I need to sort out this, and already ideas started coming up and people started people will push you. You just show courage, other people will push you, either the situation or anything.
Yes.
So I think in every stage of my life, I saw because I had some specific skills, no qualification, no backup. The only thing I had was courage. Because I used to show courage. No, I will do this, or I want to do this, and things used to happen.
To unfold by itself.
Yes, yes, right. That is one thing. And the second thing is we should we should always think of others. we call it Givers Gain in BNI, one of the networking groups where I am a member, that what you give, you'll get back.
Yeah.
So a lot of times in life, if we will only keep thinking of of receiving, I think it doesn't work.
It also limits you into not just physically but mentally,
because I completely believe that from the starting of my journey, if I would have thought what I am getting,
yes,
I wouldn't have come this long. Just because every time I had a new challenge and I had something new to do for somebody else.
Yes.
Yes, and I think that kept pushing my limits, because now I need to do something for somebody else, so I need to do something extra. So I think we always need to take care of this. What goes around, that
definitely comes around, for sure, 100%. It has been a great experience. We've actually taken lots from it, lots of values that you have given us, lots of insights you have given us. We're really, really thankful. Thank you so much. Of course, what we can learn from Rupa's story is, like she said, courage, but determination and lots of hard work. I think that's what's made you where you are today. So for everyone who we've mentioned this before also, but for everyone who thinks that you need to have a certain degree, you need to have a certain experience, sometimes that's not really, not a barrier at all. All you have to do is power through. If you really believe in something, you can definitely get where you want to be. And that's been a great life lesson that you've taught us. Thank you so much for being part of Women of Arabia, and wish you all the best and lots of success.
Thank you so much.